Intrinsic to the success of excellent development is the philosophy and approach it adopts in its work. The start point is a community and their defined problems and priorities. Excellent development neither imposes solutions nor takes a specific solution-based approach to their work. It is excellent who adapt and reprioritise according to what they hear rather than the other way around. Excellent works with registered self-help projects on the basis that they contribute significantly to their own benefits. For example, they terrace land for free and contribute half of the cost of sand dams. To further understand the philosophy and approach, let's hear what the people involved with excellent development have to say.
Excellent Development was founded as a result of seeing the Utoni Development Project that, almost unheard of, has been going for 28 years in Africa. That project has been driven by Joshua, was founded by Joshua, utilising the approach and the philosophy that we're now trying to utilise throughout Ukambani and hopefully further afield. So we know where Utoni has gone. They now work with very, very little help from anyone else. The people have had a lot of support from communities and from NGOs in the past, but now they stand on their own feet. They've built their own houses. They've got their own needlework classes. They pay for all of that themselves. They earn income as dividends every single year from the work that they do. And they will continue to march forward regardless of anybody else helping them. The only thing that an NGO does is just provide a bit of extra fuel or a bit of a turbocharge to help their engine move forward. So we believe that by working with communities under the same approach and philosophy that Joshua has used, that we will be able to provide that same support to enable people to take control of their own lives and communities to work forward through all of their priorities so that they can build themselves a better life.
The communities come themselves. We don't go to communities and say we are able to do 1, 2, 3. They have heard what we are doing. Some come and say we need to be associated with what you are doing, and then our extension staff will tell them or explain what actually the ideas we have and the policy of the NGO. If they find they are able and we are able to support them, we do that. If they find it is difficult not to get free things, then they can be on outside side and they leave us alone. But most of the time, they have chewed it before they come to us.
The local community itself must be involved. They must themselves identify the needs that they want to meet, the problems they want to solve. What we need to do is to accompany them in solving their own problems, but not create our own problems and try to go to solve them on their behalf. I think that elimination of or eradication of poverty cannot be done when people create problems and solve them in other people's areas.
Excellent development, in the few years it has existed, we have been able to talk to communities according to their needs. They explain to us what they want to see happen, and then we are enabling them get to where they want to go, just giving them the knowledge that they need, enabling them do what they think is going to help them.
I think one of the important things about our work, obviously we're known very much to be sand dam, terracing and trees charity. But that's only because through our experience and talking to communities, we know that that is their priority and that is what it is that they're wanting help with. But in actual fact, what we're helping them with is water. So you find that 20% of the time it's not always a sand dam that's the solution. You've seen in some instances where there's pipelines and springs available. We instead have supported a community to build a pipeline and a tank to improve their water supplies. So even though it may appear to some people that we've got our solution in our head, that that's what people will have, that isn't the truth. Because the truth is that we are constantly altering the support that we're giving communities to enable them to meet the priorities that they want.
When excellent development came, they started educating us the goodness, the benefit of being together first, the benefit of working together and using our own hands to work, to do the work manually, because we never used to do that. I was working in Mashamba alone, so for the first instance, they teach us how to join our hands together, work as a team, the benefit of that, and they also taught us when you join your hands together, because you Charles, if you work nicely at your shamba, you cannot get assistance. We cannot come to you and say, well, Charles, you have done very well. In this case, we are giving you a wheelbarrow. We cannot do that. But when you are in a group, just try to do that. Work together. We will come to see physically what you have done. You are working together. You can see samples. You are following instructions. You are working with one another. And then the benefit is that you can be assisted where you cannot do yourselves. We can see your weaknesses. We can see your needs. And then we can help you together, but not as an individual.
The so-called Mwethia system of community organization and community working together is an old tradition. This is used for harvesting, for building, for whatever. So it was very easy to just see this. Any innovation that comes into the community immediately taps into that dynamic. So it was not a question of whether or not to do it. It was a question of how to mobilize the idea, because it was already going. No good idea takes off in this community without some kind of integration with that community development dynamic.
One of the biggest watchwords of excellent development is nothing comes for free. If you give free things to people, you take away their dignity, and you don't allow people to take ownership of their own lives. So you can't work in that way. If you give people things for free, then our work it fails.
I don't say yes to anything that someone will regret later. If we cannot fit in what they think, I say no. I know it hurts, but that's the truth. You got to tell people no, so that they can reason with their own thinking. What next?
How do they take it when you tell them no?
Sometimes they think it's an arrogant way of handling their requests, or they don't think we are serious. But to some extent, you see them enjoying the benefits of being told no, and this is how you should do it if you need to get there.
The basic philosophy of excellent development is to support what is going on, to acknowledge what is now happening, to fit into the current dynamics, to be a part of what is happening. I hope to be as invisible as possible and let the community take it where it wants to go.
80% of the members of the projects are women. They do get 80% of the benefit, but they are the prime drivers of what should be a community responsibility. However, Excellent doesn't work with women alone. They encourage men to get involved to strengthen the community and help them move forward faster. Women become empowered by working together and achieving improvements, with or without men.
Akanithite kuawe ola muito vyonondo kikundi ke nitwambiye tuyaka athei na tunacioka ovombia umetina nukunywa okay na kwitha matena kusuania uni kuketha kuilia ata na ithia katasuania uni tutona umantha maundu mauni tunavandilisia ome tina motha tina mekia kikundini na othite na ome tina ome mavika o 10 na kindu.
When we started this project some years, women could not talk in front of men, but now we could talk. I could not say no to my husband, but now I do.
I'm proud to be a woman, and in these days, I can say I'm free, and my husband makes me free. So for For example, if Joshua tells us there is a workshop in Nairobi, and when I come to tell my husband, is the one who assists me to pack and go. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I think one of the strengths of Excellent Development's work is the fact that we don't work with communities in isolation from each other. Because we're a charity that works on the basis of listening to the people and acting upon that, actually the people themselves are the biggest power and the biggest enabler of development. So to enable people to move forward, we bring the people together. So one community will go and visit another. Representatives of communities will all come together in a meeting. And what they do is to discuss their problems. They see one community is a little further ahead than the other, and that gives them motivation. Someone has ideas of particular solutions. They see a particular idea or solution working, like intercropping, like Napier grass, like the planting of trees. They see that working and they get encouraged by their own people telling them and explaining to them what they've done and how they've moved forward. So the power isn't coming from outside and giving people solutions. The power is absolutely in helping people to help each other.
The way we see a workshop works well, and that is where I say I've seen success, because the interaction of different communities and discussing their areas and also seeing what others have done, it has more power than sitting with a few leaders and giving them the knowledge which stays in them rather than going to the people.
One key challenge for Excellence work is helping groups to become sustainable by reducing youth migration. They need to learn that people can still have a successful life even in the rural areas.
My project Hold 28, as now, some of members are very hard. And we tried to tell them to bring next of kins, because they can't work there. Every work we work.
Excellent is encouraging football and netball teams for the young people connected to the project. In exchange for shirts, they help their parents to build dams and terracing. They also visit other projects to play and work.
Yeah, definitely we are training a lot of another team behind me. And as you went out, you have seen we have field managers, we have extension people. And I'm spending my time trying to let them all understand what it means to listen to the people and act according to their needs rather than act from what experts call the needs of people. And for sure, I have only 2 years and I'm 60, and I would be thinking I should be stepping down for somebody else and sit and maybe walk with them and see what they are doing, just to see the continuity of that. I would love to see people take over from us.
Already we have started helping him because he's getting old, and we have to support him. We need to see the community go up with development. Already we have been helping him in running the project so that we can understand what should be done. So we hope when he retires, we'll take care of the project.
Excellence development is a different kind of development. Its success is based on people working together and sharing knowledge. Give the power back to the people and allow them to take control of their own destiny.